Oh, yeah, I forgot about the short. Oh my god, what is it even called?
Sleeping Beauties.
Sleeping Beauties. I gotta bring that up.
All right, well, I'm Jules.
And I'm Jason.
And we doing filmographies.
Who's Princess Charming? Well, once upon a time, there lived a young Princess Charming named Heather. That's your name, Mommy. Shh.
A lesbian mom tells her daughter of how her mommies met through the retelling of the Sleeping Beauty fairy tale, with 2 lesbian leads and no Prince Charming.
There's that other one, Sleeping Beauty.
Uh-huh.
Remember when that came out? Like,
yeah.
She's a call girl and she gets put under and they can do whatever they want to her.
Mm-hmm.
I always wondered about that movie.
So it's got Radha Mitchell in it, of course. Clea Duvall, who you can pretty much make out. I was surprised that the corpse was Rose Mcgowan.
And old Vince Vila from Clay Pigeons.
Yeah, and Bob Stevenson is in there as well. This is an interesting one. It was written and directed by Jamie Babbitt,
who has done a million things.
She's a journeyman for TV directorial stuff.
This is like the beginning of her career, or no? Well, so she did things before that.
Here's the thing. According to Wikipedia, she was a script supervisor on David Fincher's 1997 film The Game. While working on The Game, she discussed her idea for a short film based on a fairy tale with Fincher. He was interested in the project and gave Babbitt 6,000 feet of 35mm film. His editor gave her free use of an Avid editing machine, and the star of The Game, Michael Douglas, wrote to Paramount and asked them to give Babbitt access to their costume department.
That's fucking wild.
As a result, she was able to make Sleeping Beauties for $10,000. Which
amazing.
Is kind of a lot for this, but
it's too bad the quality of the video isn't good enough for us to be able to make out all that detail and really appreciate it. It's on YouTube, everybody, under Outfest.
Well, and
in 2 parts. It's 12 minutes long, 15 minutes long.
Yeah. The other channel that I found it on, it's in 2 parts there as well, and it's the same visual quality.
Did they upload that back when YouTube had time restrictions? Did YouTube used to have time restrictions per video?
Through the festival or whatever site, you would assume they would just be the full movie, and at least autoplay to the second one. I don't know. It's terrible. I could clearly make out Clea Duvall and Radha Mitchell because I knew she was in there. Yeah. But the other people, I'm like the dude talking at the funeral.
Thank you very much. We got everything we needed today. So I'll see you tomorrow, huh?
I'm like, God, that guy sounds so familiar, and I bet he's somebody. But his face was like mush. You know what it was like? It was like he was getting ringgood. Remember in that movie? When you get ringgood, when you take a picture of yourself, your face is all squiggly.
That's ringgood?
Yeah. And the ring. Yeah. I just watched both of those.
What were they called?
No.
So Sleeping Beauties is from 1999. It stars, what's the name of that lady?
I don't know.
Sarah Whitaker.
Yeah. No, it's like Jamie something or other.
Sarah Lasses.
That's exactly what I said.
Heather. So it's voiceover of her talking to her daughter.
You think she's also doing the kid? Because that's an adult, right? I mean, it's like a terrible. I hated it.
So you were a date rapist, Mommy?
You hate the whole short?
The voice. I didn't hate the short, but I mean, I don't know. There wasn't really much going on there.
I like the thing where she played the child and the adult.
Oh, no. It reminded me of the Slick Rick and then later repurposed Yazine Bey song, Children's Story or something. And here's a little story. You know it.
Yeah.
Just get a kid. Maybe it was too risque.
Yeah.
It starts with them in bed. Radha Mitchell and the main character are just canoodling in bed as the main character's talking to the daughter, telling her this story because it's How I Met Your Mother.
And she was only able to touch Radha Mitchell when she was sleeping. And one time, Radha Mitchell caught her touching her while she was sleeping.
Yeah.
Her an ugly toad.
Princess Charming, you are an ugly toad, and you don't have a pee-pee. I want a real prince.
And nobody will ever love you?
I don't know. That's what the narration was, but the dialogue in the movie, she's just like, I'm leaving. I think
you were molesting me while I was sleeping. This isn't cool. I thought we were friends.
I guess, yeah.
I think she must be kind of into her admiration of her.
Maybe. So she leaves, and the lady's heartbroken.
She's traumatized. Now she thinks she'll never have a love.
Mm-hmm.
She thinks she's repulsive. She's cute. Not repulsive. A little bit weird to be touching people when they're sleeping.
But she's a mortician.
Which is fitting for her.
So
she likes to be
boundaries maybe are a little looser.
You don't think she decided to be a mortician after fondling people in their sleep?
These sleeping beauties will never wake up and call her an ugly toad, Mommy. Mm-hmm.
Well, I think what's at the core of both of those, the profession and the activity, it's probably something inside that led to both of them.
Should we tweet Jamie Babbitt?
Go for it.
Okay.
Interestingly enough, the first feature film that Babbitt did after this was something about being a cheerleader.
Yeah, but I'm a cheerleader?
Yeah, with Russian dolls in it. What's her name?
Natasha Lyonne.
Yeah.
She gets caught fooling around with a lady and gets sent to gay camp.
Is that what happens? Because this
conversion camp, but it's full of queer people, and they're having a great time, I think.
The synopsis was she doesn't like to kiss her boyfriend, and she only has pictures of girls in her locker. So they send her away because everybody thinks she's gay. That's his rhyme, by the way. Hey, I'm doing it again. What do you say? And
she doesn't think she's gay until she's there, and it's unleashed.
I don't know.
Of her.
Is that what happens? I didn't see it. But they said that a lot of the seeds for that movie are found here.
Okay.
But the movie is like far more mainstream and less toothy. I don't know really what that means, but.
I don't know how mainstream it is. I know it's got a huge cult following.
I mean,
I never watched.
Not that it itself is mainstream, but its approach to the subject matter is I think maybe a little less upfront or I don't know, honest. I don't know. That's what the reviews say. I didn't see the movie.
I mean, I feel like the short is wildly stylized.
Well, it's interesting because it's at one point or at the sort of base of it, it is about this relationship and how they became a family. But then it also is like a pretty, not scathing, but ribald sort of commentary on like fame, right? Because they're like, Snow Blow is going to be even more famous now that she's dead. And they brought in the mortician to make her up because her funeral is also the album release cover and announcement. I don't know what it is, but so there's like groupies and everybody's like fun. They're putting cigarettes in her mouth and.
Excuse me, she's not a prop. She is a dead person.
Yeah, well, she can still sell albums, honey.
And then her Radha Mitchell pops in because she's in town, but somehow also knows the man that Jamie lives with or works with, I think.
Is that Vince Vila?
I believe so. Hard to tell. Impossible to tell.
Reminds me of Ike Barinholtz. When Ike first came on the scene, I was like, is that the guy from Clay Pigeons?
Mm-hmm.
It is not.
Is he canceled?
Barinholtz?
Yeah.
I don't think so. Are you thinking about that?
Well, I know that one dude was. Brian
Callen.
Yeah.
And fucking Chris Torbadorio? Delia.
Oh, Chris Delia. Yeah. Delia. Yeah, he got canceled pretty hard.
Okay, so Radha's mean to her.
Yeah, and so she's dating this guy that she knows, who's somehow also in the music business.
But also in the mortician's office?
Yeah.
Makes no sense.
It doesn't. And so Radha's trying to ride his coattails to make connections. And she's still just like to the other girl, like...
Come on, Heather, so we were together. It was like a million years ago, you know?
Like, no big deal, you know? And at the funeral... things kind of pop off a little bit. There's some sort of a disagreement. I don't remember what it is.
I happen to be a manager, and I would really love you guys to consider me. No, seriously, I'm a very talented rep, and I'm very up and coming.
What does this get for a free blowjob?
Whoa, watch your mouth.
And she goes, stop embarrassing me, and just runs off. But while all of this is happening, Clea Duvall, who is the photographer, she's given the cutie eye to Jamie. Is that the name of the main character? Or is that the director?
That's the director, but maybe it's the name of the... Heather.
Heather
is the main character.
She's given her the cutie eye, but she's not necessarily receptive to it.
I think
she recognizes
herself unsexual, not nobody that anybody would lust after or be interested in. So that stuff is not landing on her.
A regular old Roy Orbison.
Because he's only lonely?
Oh, I just meant because he's not that good looking, but that is more apt. I like what you said. So Clea's just like, hey, holler at me here, or just work with me because I like your makeup style. And
she writes her phone number on her arm.
On her arm. Oh, and Radha's like, oh, I'm breaking up with this guy. I'm going to go sleep at your place.
Yep.
Give me your key. And I thought it was really cool and cute where she was like, well,
don't lock me out.
And she gets home, of course. Radha's sleeping in her bed. She's, I don't know, talking about something self-absorbed, I guess. And the gal kisses her. She's like, what are you doing? She's like, well, And she's like, look, I'm super tired. You can do whatever you want.
If you want to kiss me, kiss me.
That's fine.
I'm just giving everything I've got to my career right now.
So then I think she has a moment of realization where she's like,
get on the couch.
Yeah, get out of here. You ain't got no power over me. And she ends up with Clea Duvall, right?
Powerful. I have a love in my life. Was that what it says in Punch Drunk Love?
I have a love in my life. It makes me stronger than anything you can imagine. I would say that's that, Mattress Man.
That's that.
Now get the fuck out of here, pervert! Didn't I warn you? That's that.
Yeah, so she calls up Clea Duvall, and that's that.
And they're the mothers.
And you can hear their voices
Mm-hmm.
as the narrators.
Mm-hmm.
It's cute.
It's fine.
Quality's unbelievably awful. I felt like the frame rate was off, right? There was
absolutely.
a jerkiness to it that made it nauseating to watch. Dude, I feel like this went up online the first year that YouTube existed.
It's like streaming.
One of the possible settings that ever could be where the frame rate didn't even match the stuff that was being put out.
I think that's why it's wrong, because it's not maybe not necessarily specifically be the frame rate so much as the way that pixelated images like morph instead of like just sort of, move in a consistent fashion like video. Just sort of like melts and morphs, and it's just very unpleasant. If it had looked better, I probably would have been a little bit more into it.
Yeah, it was a hard one to relax and let wash over you.
Mm-hmm.
Rose
And then
McGowan was a nice treat, though.
Mm-hmm.
It took me a while to be like, that's got to be Rose McGowan, right? And I looked it up, and sure enough, it was.
I didn't even suspect, right? And again, like it didn't link to the second video from the first video. It took me forever to find it, so. And then the one that I watched was on a different channel, so its part 2 break wasn't the same. So it went back like 3 minutes. The show I already watched, so I'm like, it just was a nightmare experience.
Sounds unpleasant. At least it was only 16 minutes instead of 13.
Yeah.
But then 5 minutes of trying to find part 2,
mm-hmm.
and 2 minutes trying to find part 1.
And then I fell down a whole rabbit hole of watching kid uploaded, at home films. One was called Sleeping Beauties, and it was also 16 minutes long. It's like a kid wrote, like a Dress to Kill. Multiple people are being murdered.
Well, there's a dead girl on the beach.
There's 2 cop characters, and but it's just his high school friends. So the cop characters, they're just wearing like black North Face fleece to represent the fact that they're police. And the sound is terrible. He's using real songs that are incredibly quiet, and for some reason are super loud. And then the song cuts off, and he goes to another different heavy metal song in the same scene.
Maybe that's how he's getting around the YouTube flagging him.
Maybe, or he just was like, I like both these songs, and then so that was
What do we say about this short, man? We don't have much to say.
I mean, it's available. Well, no, because a lot of things Kick, for example.
Oh yeah, Kick
should have been
fifth movie
somewhat possible to find other than a German dub with German subtitles on Amazon.
And people love rugby. What the fuck?
And I mean, it doesn't appear to be just like complete garbage.
No, it seems like it's decently received.
Yeah, just like a fucking Invictus, but the Aussie version.
We have to learn German so that we can eventually cover it.
Or get a real-time translating app.
Yeah. Kick the ball. Is that what the robot would say to us?
Mm-hmm.
Say that to my face, bruh.
What I was going to say is that it's available. So if, you're joining us on our Radha Odyssey.
Odyssey?
Nice. You might as well check it out.
It's short enough.
It's
such bad quality. I feel bad even saying that.
Well, and also it doesn't actually probably support the person that made it or anybody involved really at all in general.
Well, if it's in Outfest.
Just some random video now, 65 years later.
Radha's good in it. She's a cold asshole.
Yeah, she's fine. Yeah.
Jules told me he thinks she's boring.
Well,
Jules told me he loved her, and then the next thing he said to me is she's boring. She's a boring lady.
Well, yeah, I do love her, and she does seem a little boring, but it's not like I'm, exciting.
Yeah, what do you give her, a 10?
Her? I'm gonna give her a 6.
All right, 6 sounds good. What do you give the short?
A 3.
Really?
Yeah.
That's rough, dude.
I mean...
Are you taking quality into consideration for that?
Yeah, because I couldn't invest. I couldn't get drawn in to the details of the picture, but also just the general emotion on people's faces. It was all just, I don't know.
Shit, man. I mean, I would give it a 6. I can get past the bad quality a little bit and envision what it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked it. I don't know. I liked what I got. It was hard to stay hooked into it because of the quality, but I thought it was interesting and done well.
I guess. I mean, not that it needed to, but it didn't really have anything really to say. It's just, you watch it and then it's over.
Maybe that's why it's not been preserved.
Maybe.
Or fucking Jamie Babbitt's way too fucking busy making 181 things in the last 20 years, so she's got no interest. Okay, we'll see you on Saturday with another Radha. What is the order of these? What comes after Sleeping Beauties?
Everything in its place. And then...
I don't think that's what it's called.
It's probably not.
Everything put together.
Every time I try to search for it, that fucking Radiohead song pops up. That, and then Pitch Black.
763-634-1897.
That's it.
Cut the recording.
Arrivederci, baby.
I said, bitch, I'm from Australia. We eat chalky bars.